Thought you guys might like to hear this. It's about the U.S. crime rate. So it says that most people think the U.S. crime rate is rising. They're wrong. So this is a recent article. Almost 80% of Americans and 92% of Republicans think crime has gone up. It actually fell in 2023. Let's get into this a little bit here. This article came out the 16th. And it says crime in the U.S. has declined significantly over the last year, according to new FBI data that contradicts a widespread national perception that law breaking and violence are on the rise. So again, this is looking at national data. According to some cities, obviously some cities are going to have a higher crime rate than others. I'm sure if you looked at like San Francisco's crime rate may be higher than like Raleigh, North Carolina, so to speak. But on a national level, they're saying that crime has actually decreased this year. A Gallup poll released this month found that 77% of Americans believe crime rates are worsening, but they are mistaken. The new FBI data and other statistics show. So the FBI data, which compares crimes in the third quarter of 2023 to the same period last year, found that violent crime dropped 8%, while property crime fell 6.3% to what would be the lowest level since 1961. That's according to criminologist Jeff Asher, who analyzed the FBI numbers. Murder plummeted in the U.S. in 2023 at one of the fastest rates of decline ever recorded. And every category of major crime except auto theft declined. This was news to me. Yet 92% of Republicans, 78% of independents, and 58% of Democrats believe crime is rising. But that's because that's what the mainstream media has been telling us. How many times have we covered it on this channel when they talked about the crime rate? At least we talked about San Francisco, the crime rate in San Francisco. That's because that's what mainstream media has been telling us. So people think that. I think we've been conditioned and we have no way of countering the idea that crime is rising. Asher said, it's just an overwhelming number of news media stories and viral videos. I have to believe that social media is playing a role. Now we have to be careful here too, because again, this could be another push for them to try to censor social media. Oh, people have this misconception because social media is reporting negative or false news stories. And that's where they're getting it from. Or they can point their fingers at TikTok and say it's because of the TikTok stories, right? But the reality is, even mainstream media has been telling us this year that it has been increasing, not decreasing. But they're not going to tell you to eliminate mainstream media, right? The FBI's quarterly numbers cover about 78% of the U.S. population and don't give us as full of a picture as the more comprehensive annual report the FBI puts out once a year. But Asher said the quarterly report in the past have hewed fairly close to the annual ones. The most recent annual report released in October covered 94% of the country and found that violent crime in 2022 fell back to pre-pandemic levels, with murder dropping to 6.1%. Asher maintains a separate database of murder in big cities, which found that murder is down 12.7% this year after rising during the pandemic. Detroit is on pace to have the fewest murders since 1966. Asher found while Baltimore and St. Louis are on track to post the fewest murders in each city in nearly a decade. A few cities, including Memphis and DC, are still seeing increases in their murder rates, but they are outliers. If you want to see the stats, you can go to FBI Crime Data Explorer, and they already have it selected for us. They already have violent crime here, so we can see it. You can select different crimes as well. But here's that data. Violent crime percent change by population group, Q3 in 2022 and Q3 in 2023. And you can see here, you can see that we're getting a decrease. Now, this is labeled in reference to population of these cities. So, and then they have metropolitan counties and non-metropolitan counties for the peeps out in the boonies. And then here's by region. So you can see here is like -11 Northeast. That's me. Same for the Midwest. In the South, I think that's -9. And the West, -9. And the total there brings them all to like a -8. So it kind of makes me wonder if some of those videos that have been shown before, like on CNN and MSNBC, especially the ones with San Francisco, those are a lot of the ones they've been focusing on. It kind of makes me wonder if they just want us to get hyped up and get scared, right? They want us to be afraid and want us to think that crime is increasing rapidly so that they can argue for more police funding, thus another way to increase population control, to control the population. That's what it makes me wonder. If we tell the American people that crime is rapidly increasing, then they'll become afraid and they'll want to find a reason to protect themselves, obviously. So they'll want to increase police presence. Just something to think about.